Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki. I've been a practicing witch for 15 years and today we're going to talk about divination. So today we're just going to focus on the different types of divination that there is. So for starters, you have pendulums. So a pendulum is going to be, it could be crystal, copper, a metal. The idea of it is just a weight on a string or chain. So you can make this as simple as you want. You could literally just tie a ring to a string and use that as a pendulum, or you can go out and buy a pendulum. So with a pendulum, you would be asking yes or no questions. So there's this misconception that once you get your yes and no, that there's a maybe. There's no maybe. It's a clear yes or no for your questions. If you get a maybe, your question is too vague and you need to reword it for it to be more specific. In that way, Spirit can talk to you and give you clear yes and no direction. Next, we have tarot. So with tarot, you can ask like more in depth questions, how I like to read tarot, and it's just how I do it. I don't read it as like a specific question. I'm pretty much just what's the energy surrounding XYZ. So for example, if I'm looking into a job, I would say what's the energy surrounding me getting the job at such and such. This is the thing with tarot. Tarot is never meant to predict the future. Tarot reads on the energy, the current energy of what's surrounding that situation. Energy is ever changing. Energy is ever flowing and changing. So say you had an interview and it went really well and you did a tarot reading on it. The tarot reading could be, yes, like an offer would be coming in, you can get a timeline, this, that, and third. Now, with that being said, they interviewed somebody a week later, someone else for the position. Or for another position, they thought, hey, this person would actually be better for the position that you interviewed for. A week later, you could read on it again and it tell you, like, yeah, no, this isn't going to go anywhere. But that's because energy is ever changing. So if the person has stuck with their decision on not to interview anyone else, yes, you could possibly have that job. However, if they decided to change direction and interview someone else for another position, and it just so happened to change the entire energy of the current situation. So that's something you have to keep in mind with tarot. It's never to predict the future. It reads on the energy that is currently surrounding this certain situations. Tarot cards come with 78 cards. You're going to have your major and minor arcana. If you like, I can do a video on that. I'll probably do a video on all of these separately. Right now we're just going through different types of divination. So that brings me to oracle cards. Oracle cards are never going to have like a set number of cards. So it depends on the artist. It depends on, the person that created the deck. So for example, with Animal Spirit Tarot, love Kim Kranz. Her art is amazing. I have a guidebook that comes with it. So you would pull your card and you will read on, like, say you got octopus, you would read like what the octopus is about. So essentially it's kind of like, what do I need to hear right now type of situation when it comes to oracle cards. I have another oracle deck. What's the Tea Oracle? Does not come with a guidebook. So it's meant to be read intuitively. Um, so it really just depends on the artist and who made it on how you're supposed to read it. So with this, it comes with a guidebook. You would read the guidebook after you pulled your card. But then my other deck, I would read that intuitively. So, what do I need to hear right now? Pull the card. Okay. And just kind of speak to spirit, literally. Like, I would have to use my intuition to figure out what the card is trying to tell me at that current point in time. Next, we have runes. So runes consist of 24 runes. If you're on a Nordic path, this would be great for you to learn. Um, they would have, you would have 24 runes, so it could be made out of wood, crystal. I've seen some made out of glass, so these are made out of black obsidian, and each one is going to have a different rune on them. I'm not really good with reading runes. I don't really follow that path, so it's kind of hard for me to read runes. But a lot of runes do come with guidebooks that could help you. Um, just like tarot cards come with a guidebook, but I use the imagery off of tarot cards to read them. Yes, they have specific meanings, but I also use my intuition in the imagery that comes off the tarot card. With these, you can't really do that. So you would have runes. They're great for people that are following a Nordic path. Each of them has their own like god associated with it. I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me. Don't quote me. I have been wanting to get into runes, but they just don't speak to me like they used to anymore. So I don't really feel the need to learn them. Anyways, and that brings me to witches' runes. So witches' runes consist of 13 runes, sometimes 14 if there's a blank one. So each one would have um, a symbol on it, just like the Nordic runes. These are just witches' runes. Um, these can be made out of crystal, glass, metal, wood, just like Nordic runes. They're a little easier to read. I've been trying to get into them. A lot of people will even make their own runes. Um, so yeah, like you can make your own runes, just like you can make your own tarot cards. There's also a really great thing that I saw, and it's blank tarot cards, and you color them in, and then you can get blank, just straight up blank tarot cards, and you can essentially create your own tarot or oracle cards with those. So you can definitely do that. You can make your own things. You don't have to buy things in order to divinate. So you can make your own divination tools. Like I said, literally a ring on a string can be a pendulum. If you are strapped for cash, but you want something that's like pretty, Timu is a good way to save money, but also be able to get into your practice without spending a ton of money. However, there is that moral ethics. There's some morals around Timu because this is a Timu deck. I ordered it off TikTok from someone, and it's literally a Timu deck. They have the real deck of this out there, and so it's kind of like jipping the artist, which I don't like, I don't care for, but at the same time, like you really want to get into it and you only have $4 to spend on like play money for your practice, you definitely can do that. However, Amazon has some great tarot decks. I always recommend starting off with the Rider Waite tarot deck. That's what all tarot decks are based off of. And the imagery is easier to read. So if you're starting out, I would definitely start with the Rider Waite tarot deck. And try not to use the guidebook at first. Like pull a card and then study the imagery, see how it feels, see what's on the tarot card, and then interpret it that way, and then check guidebook see if you're correct. Anyways, sorry, we did a side quest. So those are the different types of divination. What I will do is I'll create a video based on all of them so we can get a little more in depth with it. Starting your divination journey doesn't have to be expensive. You can literally just build your own, and that is perfectly fine. So if you have any questions about divination, just comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe and like and follow along for this journey. Again, just a disclaimer, this is what I believe in, my spiritual views, and it may not align with all witches because we're all different, and that is perfectly okay. So everyone have a great day and get out there and divinate.